friends. Are you looking for a new podcast? Maybe something you can share with your littles? Something that has some storytelling in it? Well, then look no further. We have Storytime with Philip and Mommy, where my son and I sit and discuss all the great books that you might love while we read them. So, little golden books, Berenstain Bears, and even the new classics like Bluey. We sit down, we read, we discuss, and we have so much fun doing it. Come and join us. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
Hello, Culture Kids! Welcome to the show. We are a family podcast dedicated to empowering a generation of kind and empathetic creators and citizens of the world.
Hello, hello! My name is Asher and I am your host along with my mom, Kristen.
Join us as we explore the world to embrace our differences with curiosity, kindness, and equality while celebrating our similarities. Today, we're learning about our breakfast favorite, waffles, thanks to our listener, Tobiangelo from Nigeria. This is for you. And of course, before we get started on our episode, we want to say thank you to NBNTN, who said, everyone in the family loves this podcast, from 2-year-old to grown-ups. The 5-year-old, N, requests it every time we're in the car. He said, I love learning about the world. My favorite episode is Fruits Around the World and Navajo Nation. My family is from Iran. Can you add some episodes about traditions in the Middle East? The jokes are funny.
Thank you so much.
And we also want to say thank you to Isabel Abiodun. Isabel said, my name is Isabel and I love Nigeria and I have a friend that comes from where you come from. Can you please make an episode about pancakes, food, and so many more things about Australia? I love your podcast. Please make a YouTube channel.
Thank you, Isabel. We do have a YouTube channel, but there's no video.
These are such great ideas and thank you so much.
Thank you.
Please don't forget to leave us a 5-star review on Apple and we will feature you on the show.
Okay, so as we mentioned before, our listener Tobiangelo wanted to learn about waffles and all the different types we have around the world.
I love it because it's so yummy and so many countries have their own way of eating them.
Yep, and we're going to explore a few today. But first, let's learn about the history of waffles and how they became a popular breakfast or even dessert item everywhere in the world.
Let's go! Yummy, yummy, yummy. A waffle is a baked pastry made from batter or dough.
They are cooked between 2 plates to create a grid-like pattern.
They look like honeycombs.
My home. A long time ago, Greeks made flat cakes called obelios by cooking them between hot metal plates. In medieval Europe, these cakes became known as wafers and were cooked the same way, sometimes with designs on the plates. These wafers were simple, made from flour and water, often used in religious ceremonies and adorned with pictures of religious scenes. In the 14th century, the first waffle recipe was written down, and by the 15th century, waffle irons had grid patterns, like the ones we know today.
But that was still 500 years ago. Waffles are old.
Yes.
Yes, and in the 17th century, Dutch and German settlers brought waffles to America, where they became a favorite treat. These settlers had a significant influence on American waffle traditions. Then in the 1930s, the Dorsa brothers from California invented instant waffle mix and later created a machine that could make thousands of waffles per hour. Kellogg bought their company in 1970 and launched the famous slogan, Lego My Ego, making waffles a popular breakfast choice for families across America.
We eat those at home sometimes.
Yes, but that's just part of the story. We'll dive into the fascinating history of how different types of waffles were created around the world, exploring their unique origins and variations.
So let's learn about the different kinds of waffles.
And of course, the biggest family of waffles, the Belgian waffle.
Belgium is a country, officially the Kingdom of Belgium.
Yes, so it's important to note that when we're talking about Belgian waffles, there isn't just one type. In the book Dark Rye and Honey Cake, the author Regula Wijewin, who is a culinary historian, talks about 13 different Belgian waffle recipes, each with its own unique characteristics and flavors.
13? Wow, that's a lot of waffle types.
Yeah, but I'm not surprised. This variety shows the rich culinary tradition of Belgium, where waffles have evolved over time to include different ingredients, textures, and cooking methods. So we can't cover every single one of them, but the first type we're going to learn about is the Liège waffle.
And Liège is a city in Belgium.
Yes, it is. Liège waffles have a deeper round shape, and they're made from a dough that rises. Liège waffles can be enjoyed hot or cold and are quite sweet.
So Liège waffles are usually eaten plain. You don't add fruit or syrup or whipped cream. No. Let's talk about how it was invented.
Well, just like many things in history, nobody can say for sure who invented it. But an old legend says that Liège waffle was born when the Prince Bishop of Liège asked his chef to create a special treat using pearl sugar.
What is pearl sugar? Something tells me I'm gonna like that.
Pearl sugar is a special kind of sugar with large round crystals that don't fully melt when heated, creating a crunchy and sweet coating on baked goods like waffles.
Like a burst of crunchy, sweet goodness.
Yep, so the chef also added vanilla to the brioche dough, creating a flavor explosion that pleased the Prince Bishop and spread the recipe across Belgium over generations. And I love that people eat them with their hands and don't usually add toppings because they love the sweet flavor and texture of the waffle on its own. Plus, it's easier to eat them this way when you're walking around.
Yeah, so you can eat it while you're going somewhere.
Excuse me.
And next is the beloved treat that has gained worldwide popularity called the Brussels waffle. This waffle is rectangular with deep pockets and a thicker, fluffier texture compared to other waffles.
The Brussels waffle is often sprinkled with sugar and topped with whipped cream or strawberries.
Yes, but according to the author and food historian Regula Wijewin that we mentioned earlier, the authentic Belgian way often includes a dusting of powdered sugar or sometimes whipped cream, but adding other fruits or topping is less common in Belgium.
Light and crispy thanks to the fluffy batter made with white eggs.
You can eat it hot, and it's perfect for a quick snack or a special treat at breakfast or in a cafe.
Yum! I love adding the whipped cream.
Yes.
Okay, so I have a fun story about Brussels waffles.
Go, tell me.
So, Brussels waffles are a type of Belgian waffle. But when people say Belgian waffle, they might be referring to the Brussels waffle. Brussels waffles first came to the United States in 1962 at the Seattle World's Fair, where they were called Belgian Brussels waffles. Do you get it?
Oh, like Belgium the country, but Belgium, like the treasures?
Bravo!
Exactly. They wanted to highlight that their waffles were a culinary gem from Belgium. However, people misunderstood and started calling them Belgian waffles instead. This accidental name stuck, and now we know these delicious treats around the world as Belgian waffles because of that simple marketing twist.
That's so creative. I like that a lot. This is my favorite type of waffle. It's a gem.
Okay, next. Let's take a bite of
Stroopwafels.
Stroopwafels are a traditional Dutch treat. It is a thin, round waffle made from 2 layers of sweet dough stuck together with syrup. They are crispy and delicious. The word stroopwafels comes from the Dutch language and roughly translates to syrup and waffles in English.
It came from a city called Gouda in the Netherlands a long time ago. Today you can find stroopwafels all over the world.
Thank goodness.
And we learned that the best way to eat them is to place a stroopwafel on top of a hot mug of coffee, tea, or
hot chocolate!
Yep, stroopwafels are circular in shape, so placing them on top of a mug makes sense. Then you wait about 30 seconds and the syrup will slightly melt.
But don't let it sit too long, or else it will melt and fall into your mug.
Yes, your stroopwafel must be supervised at all times. Next, let's fly over to Asia and visit
Hong Kong!
And we are here to learn about egg waffles.
Also known as bubble waffles. They are served as a street food or folded into a cone shape, like an ice cream cone.
Yes, they're filled with different toppings like ice cream, fruits, and even chocolate sauce.
Hong Kong bubble waffles were invented in the 1950s.
Back then, shop owners needed to use the ingredients they couldn't sell. And one clever shop owner mixed unsold eggs with flour and sugar to create these special waffles. The cool bubble shape was designed to make it look more nutritious. And people got creative and added fun things.
My favorite part is that it looks like bubble wrap, like you know from gifts.
It really does.
Let's do one more.
Okay, so while this isn't exactly a kind of a waffle, I want to talk about a unique way people eat waffles here in America.
Fried chicken and waffles. Oh, yeah. So good.
Yep. So even though people in Pennsylvania Dutch country made tasty meals in the 1600s by pulling pulled chicken and gravy on top of waffles, the modern version of fried chicken and waffles as we know it today became famous from the Well Supper Club in Harlem, New York, starting in 1938.
A lot of famous jazz musicians went there.
Oh, yes, they did. So jazz musicians loved to go there after their concerts, but that meant it was too late for dinner, but too early for breakfast.
Whoa, so they must play very late.
Yep, so as a compromise, they enjoyed eating fried chicken with waffles.
But fried chicken comes from the South.
Yes, it does. Fried chicken has deep roots in American South where enslaved Africans brought their cooking skills and culinary traditions, including methods of frying chicken, which became popular in Southern cuisine.
And everywhere in the world.
Oh yes, it is an important culinary contribution by African Americans in our history that changed how we eat chicken forever. For everyone. Learning about the history of waffles is so fascinating because it not only developed over hundreds of years, but it was a contribution of so many different countries, cultures, and languages. It really is a type of dish that can be enjoyed by everyone across continents.
Yeah, and there are so many different ways to eat it. It's such a fun dish, too.
Yep. And to our Culture Kids family, how do you like your waffle? Can you imagine what it might be like to melt a stroopwafel over a mug of hot chocolate? As we discovered today, trying new foods isn't just about taste. It's about exploring different cultures and traditions because every dish in the world comes from a certain culture and has a unique story behind it. So keep exploring with your grown-ups and see if you can discover the stories your favorite foods might tell and where they might take you in the world. And until next week, always remember, here at Culture Kids, you and your family are welcomed, included, and celebrated for exactly who you are.
Joke time! Okay, I'll go first.
Yep.
I'm on a seafood diet. When I see food, I eat it. Get it? Like seafood, like fish and lobster?
Yes, but like you see the food, so you eat it. Seafood. That's great. Okay, my turn. What kind of a room doesn't have any doors?
What?
A mushroom. Get it? Like mushroom. Mushroom is not a room, it's a vegetable, yes, but...
Oh, I get it. That's so funny. I get it.
Thank you for joining us today. We have Mr. Horace and Miss Dorothy back from Jamaica Cultural Alliance and so much more fun content coming up. Please hit subscribe and tell everyone you love about Culture Kids. Your family spreading the message of our show is what keeps us strong. Thank you for all that you do, and see you next week. Bye-bye.
We've all been there. You're standing in a museum staring at a painting and all you can think is, I don't get it. To me, knowing the story behind an artwork is a huge part of knowing how to look at it. I'm Amanda, the host of the Art of History podcast, where we view history through the lens of some really great works of art. Each episode, we dive deep into the bigger picture behind some familiar and maybe not so familiar pieces. Check out Art of History now wherever you get your podcasts.